Hi, my name is Bagiatis,
Hi, I'm Fazekas.
and this is our group theory presentation on reality therapy. So, to give an overview, reality therapy is a form of counseling that views behaviors as choices. It states the psychological symptoms occur not because of mental illness, but due to people irresponsibly choosing behaviors to fulfill their needs. Reality therapy provides individuals with a delivery system that enables them to take more effective control of their lives. Reality therapists' main goal is to help people accept responsibility of their irresponsible behaviors and to choose more desirable actions.
Reality therapy was developed by Dr. William Glasser. He studied at the Case Western Reserve University. He rejected Freud's model of psychotherapy. He developed reality therapy in 1965 and used it in mental hospitals and prisons. He published many books on his work, and these methods are still taught today at the William Glasser Institute. Although William Glasser used them in mental hospitals and in prisons, today they are used in a variety of settings, especially in education.
So, just to highlight some of the differences of reality therapy when comparing it to other forms of psychotherapy, it rejects the concept of mental illness. It emphasizes the present as the cutting edge of people's lives and focuses on control of one's environment and behavioral choices. It does not deal with transference, but relates to the client's perceptions. It does not consider the unconscious, but focuses more on present awareness. It focuses more on unmet needs, where other theories focus more on thoughts and feelings. It stresses that people must judge their own behaviors in light of personal or societal values, and it attempts to teach individuals a better way of fulfilling their needs and taking responsibility for themselves.
Choice theory was also created by Glasser. It states that humans have 5 basic driven needs. The first one being survival, which includes your health, your food, your warmth, and your sexual activity, as well as love and belonging, which love and belonging is being loved, being respected, having friendships, and sharing cooperation. The power of achievement, which is recognition, success, importance, and achievement skills. Freedom and independence, choices, independence, freedom from, and then freedom to. Fun and enjoyment is laughter, learning, and change. They are in no particular order in significance, and they vary in strength. And Glasser believed that the primary need is love and belonging, which explains why mental distress is often related to relationships. The theory states that we choose our behaviors to satisfy unmet needs in order to meet these needs. Our behavior must be determined by internal forces, and our behavior is influenced by external forces like people and situations that will result in psychological problems. Choice theory teaches that the needs are satisfied indirectly. As we develop, we form an idea of a quality world in which is perfect and meets all the needs and wants. Within this quality world, we create a picture album, and these are the wants and needs, as well as the ways to satisfy or to fulfill them. With this being in mind, we behave in a manner that attempts to give us the most effective control over our lives.
So, behavior in reality therapy. Behavior is a central component to reality therapy, and Glasser categorized behaviors into organized and reorganized categories. So, organized behaviors are the past behaviors that you created to satisfy your needs. And a reality therapist will help you to recognize any of the ineffective organized behaviors that you have. So, after identifying the ineffective behaviors, you'll work on changing them into more effective behaviors or making completely new ones. Thus, the behaviors have been reorganized. And by presenting the behaviors as choices, reality therapy can help you to feel more in control of your life and your actions.
The role of the therapist is that the group leader is active, involved, warm, confronting, keeps pointing out reality to the group members in a direct and a caring manner. Glasser had 4 criteria of an effective group leader, which were: he believed that a group leader should be responsible individuals who are able to fulfill their own needs. that a group leader should be mentally strong and able to resist group members' pleas for sympathy and excuses in non-productive behavior. And a group leader should also accept the member for who they are. A group leader should be emotionally mature and comfortable with themselves before they work with the group members. They must foster and teach evaluation as well as structure and limits. And they instill hope in members, no matter how bad things are.
So next, we would like to cover reality therapy's original 8 basic steps as outlined by Glasser. So the first step is making friends and establishing a meaningful relationship. The reality therapist attempts to build rapport with each group member. People become involved in groups to connect with others, and the group leader helps to fulfill this need through a process of applicant screening, as well as just by engaging with the group members. With their help, the group leader determines what he pictures as a way of meeting the members' basic needs. The picture comes with a view of the internal world of the group member and can be drawn out by the leader through skillful questioning and meaningful interactions.
Step number 2 emphasizes the present behavior and asks, what are you doing now? And it focuses on the process of choice. The reality therapist stresses the importance of using thinking and acting rather than feeling and physiological ways to bring change. And the group member is asked to concentrate on behaviors that they can control now in the present.
So step 3 is to stress whether the client's actions are getting them what they want. There's an emphasis on the group members judging their behaviors and learning that their behaviors are within their control. A part of this process focuses on the person's individual values, whereas the second part underlines the reasonable rules by which societal systems live. Individuals with difficulties may be acting against their own best judgment or the collective wisdom of society.
And step number 4 is to make a positive plan to do better. This is the critical stage of the group process, and the first 3 stages must be completed. This involves planning, advising, helping, and encouraging. And Bowling states that an effective plan must have components such as tying closely together to the member's needs. It must be simple and easily understood. It has positive actions. It's independent of other contributors. It is practiced regularly. It is immediately doable, as well as being process-oriented, and is open to constructive input from group members by being written down or well formulated.
So step number 5 is to make a commitment to follow the positive plan. Group members must both formulate the plan as well as following through with it. And by making the commitments, the group members are able to take responsibility for their lives and in the process gain more control.
Step number 6 is no excuses. A group leader encourages members to make no excuses. The past is not brought up. Excuses are not discussed, and sometimes we just have to acknowledge that people fail. Accepting excuses gives individuals in the group the idea that they are weak and they cannot change and therefore unable to control their lives.
Step number 7 is no punishment. Glasser described punishment as the infliction of pain with no reasonable way to reduce or end the pain, no matter what the wrongdoer does, and that punishment is opposite of choice and control and often leads to negative or self-defeating actions. So this is why it would want to be avoided.
Step number 8 is to never give up. Change takes time, especially if a client has a long time history of failure. Consistency in a group's perseverance begins to become more internalized by clients as they realize that the leader is like a good friend that does not give up easily. Upon this realization, members become more willing to try new behaviors.
So next, we'd like to outline some of the specific group techniques used within reality therapy. So Webbelding suggests that there are 4 special techniques. So first is the skillful use of questions. So the group leader can ask open-ended, inviting questions to help members become more explorative. For example, a question they might use in an initial session is, what do you hope to get out of the group? Another is teaching self-help procedures. This focuses on positive behaviors that members would like to change, and an example would be learning a new social skill. The use of humor. Humor builds trust, and it helps members to gain an awareness of situations that aren't always easily obtainable. It also encourages authenticity between the client and the group leader. Also, the use of paradox. Change is best brought about indirectly than directly. Group leaders could also ask a member to do the opposite of what they want to get the change that is desired. And it was also noted that this isn't always an often used technique and that it should be proceeded with caution.
The WWDEP framework is the want, doing, and the evaluation and the plan of action. The want is the different degrees of wants that are non-negotiable in a small degree, and then wishes and mixed feelings is something called a double bind, which is the conflict between what you wish and what you want right now. Doing focuses on spending a good amount of time on this. A reality therapist spends a good amount of time on this technique, is figuring out what the client would like to do and where they would like to go. Evaluation is they value judgments made by the client, and the behavior is not by the therapist. The plan of action is to change. The change is very specific, and the plan has to be as specific as possible. Wall Bowling's good plan is to be smart, obtainable, measurable, immediate, and controlled.
So next are some more of the techniques used in this form of therapy to access the total behavior of the group member. So this includes the doing, thinking, feeling, and physiology. Clarifying the client's perceptions and change. So emphasizing perceptions that meet needs and de-emphasizing perceptions that do not meet needs. The therapeutic alliance, so having an honest, warm, friendly, optimistic, genuine, enthusiastic, non-judgmental relationship between you as the therapist and the client. Confrontation, this is done after alliance is established and can be used later in therapy. Using questions, so to collect and provide information to better understand the client and to enable the client to take control of their behavior. Positivity is frequently expressed throughout the process. And some of the goals of these techniques is to develop a success identity, to feel worthwhile, loved, and competent, to fulfill needs in a way that does not disrupt others, to be productive in a positive way, and in ways that do not lead to symptoms. But then also in these techniques, it's important to avoid arguing, attacking, accusing, demeaning, blaming, bossing, criticizing, holding grudges, instilling fear, or giving up easily.
Expectations of a group members in reality therapy is the clients explore their behavior, they evaluate the effectiveness of their behavior in getting what they want. They make a plan that will lead to change their behavior. They commit to that plan. They evaluate the plan and follow up with the counselor. And then the follow-up is how well the clients are doing and offer further consultation if needed.
So next are some of the desired outcomes of reality therapy. So most importantly is the change that the group members will experience in moving past self-defeating patterns of behavior that they're stuck in and the repetitive and non-productive activity. Engaging in new behaviors that are designed to help them achieve responsible and present-oriented goals. The realization that the group leader didn't give up on them or punish them when they failed to succeed. The positive plans of action, they do not become discouraged, defeated, or punitive when they did not initially achieve what they want. The hope is that they come away from the reality therapy experience with a greater awareness of their values and the skill of self-evaluation, and the acknowledgement that they do have a choice in what they do.
Desired outcomes of reality therapy. Outside events and past history lose its power. Reality therapy views behavior as a choice and is based on taking responsibility for these choices and choosing more effective actions. Helping clients to get reconnected with people that they have chosen to put into their quality world, and help clients learn better ways of fulfilling all areas of their lives. More effective satisfaction of all needs, behavioral change, better decision making, improvement in significant relationships, as well as enhancing living.
So here are some of the contributions of reality therapy to to counseling in general and also the group process. So the advantages are that it's short term and that it focuses on conscious behavioral problems. It strongly encourages clients to engage in self-evaluation, to decide if what they are doing is working or not, and to commit themselves to doing what is required to make the desired changes. People are not viewed as being hopelessly and helplessly depressed, but as doing the best that they can at the time. And there is also an emphasis on responsibility and choice, which gives individuals a sense of self-direction and empowerment.
The limitations to reality therapy, the drawback is the emphasis on the exchange of communication, whether verbal or written. Because of the use of contracts, individuals that cannot or will not communicate this way, they cannot benefit from this approach. So if they can't verbalize it or they're able to write it down, they can't use it. Its simplicity, Glasser's 8-step method in conducting a group, as well as the WDEP model, may be misapplied, and the group leader does not or might not understand or appreciate the complexity of human nature or change. The extreme position on how Glasser denies that mental illness, he believed that mental illness was a choose behavior, and reality therapy also refused to deal with the unconscious. It denied the importance of the past and conflicts like other traditional forms of therapy. It lacked its effectiveness, as well as the emphasis on unity and conformity. Members are expected to conform to the reality of those of most popular power. Emphasis on pragmatic may be discourage creativity and independent behavior. The emphasis on changing one's environment, the attention of a larger and important issues are being passed or ignored, as well as the potential of imposed views that they have to develop new actions, and this could allow the therapist to impose their values. And then Glasser's stance on anti-medication, that he did not believe that you should treat any mental illness with medication, and it was dismissed entirely.
Okay, and then also we have linked a short example of use of the WDEP model in a group setting. So we will include the links to this.
And then this one is an individual counseling link, using reality therapy, dealing with balancing the need of freedom and other needs.
And then here is our study guide. So feel free to pause us here and take a look at this. But just to remind you that this theory was developed by Dr. William Glasser, and it's a form of counseling based on choice theory, which views behaviors as choices. It states the psychological symptoms occur not because of mental illness, but due to people irresponsibly choosing behaviors to fulfill their basic needs, which were survival, love and belonging, power of achievement, freedom and fun. The key characteristics are the emphasis on choice and responsibility, rejection of transference, keeping therapy in the present, avoiding focusing on symptoms, and challenging traditional views of mental illness. It's considered to be a cognitive behavioral approach. It's solution-oriented and focuses on the here and now. And the goals are that it helps clients learn better ways to fulfill their needs by making more effective and responsible choices, and it increases the connection and satisfaction with the personal relationships. And these are just little refreshers on the 4 criteria for effective group leadership and the 8 basic steps that can be used in groups, and some of the special techniques, as well as the contributions and limitations. And then these are our references as well. And we thank you so much for watching our presentation, and we'll be happy to engage in discussion or answer any of your questions through the discussion board that is, where this is posted. So thank you.
Thank you.